All right, we are recording. Well, welcome to Mindset Monday. You guys, I'm so excited for tonight's training. And before we get started, my team is probably already knowing what's coming. And it really is something that we do every single Tuesday night for our team training. And so it only feels natural and right. And if you are at our retreat here in Orlando, you probably know it's coming too. But we dance at the front end of all of our trainings. And just to reiterate why, in case you're like, what is going on? This is the stupidest thing I've ever heard. I promise, try to practice it in life. But when we move our bodies, it changes our minds. And a lot of us, you know, here on the East Coast, at least, it's 9 o'clock. Some of you are tired. It's been a long day. And so when we move our bodies and we don't care what other people think about us, changes our mind, gets our energy levels up, gets us able to receive. So wherever you are, shamelessly, we are going to dance. Don't worry, I'm going to put some music on for you guys. So 1 second here. So you guys have to tell me if you can hear this. Okay, 1 sec. Okay, I think it's going to share my Spotify screen, but that's okay. Okay. All right, here we go.
Would you love me less?
You guys hear?
If you know the places that I've been, if you know the damage that I did, would you love me less? No, 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 no. I
love it,
got
Kaylin.
so much dirt to come clean, closets full of skeletons that you don't wanna see. Judge me, I'm ugly. I won't blame you if you do.
We're taking it to the club in our house right now.
Don't wanna keep no secrets, even if what I'ma say.
Okay. Hopefully everybody's energy is up a little bit. That was kind of more of a mellow song. So we eased you guys into it. And I think, yes, we are recording. Okay. Well, I'm super, super, super excited and really like just in preparing the training, it pumps me up and I'm really preaching to the choir tonight. This is all things that, you know, I need to grow in myself too. And so we're all in this together. And kind of even before I jump into it, I was just thinking today about like, gosh, what a stinking gift we have. And talking with Lucia, even when she was here a couple of weeks ago, she was talking about how like our company offers everything that there's no other company out there that offers what we have. And I mean, the culture that we get to be a part of, matched with, you know, the trend of health, wellness, and beauty that our market hits, matches, you know, the trend of online shopping that we get to be a part of, you know, matching the ability to, the only way we're able to rise is by lifting up others. It's an unmatched culture. And, you know, just having a heart of gratitude for that. And I don't know if Maggie is on here, but, you know, all of us, make sure you give gratitude to your upline and to Maggie, and just thinking about like how thankful we ought to be for our uplines, because we wouldn't be here without them. So I am super excited. I'm sticking with the model that I use for my trainings, and it's a 3-2-1 model. And so I'm going to just jump right into it. And the topic tonight is all about going up, because, you know, all of us want to go up in our businesses, right? So I'm going to give you 3 thoughts, 2 questions, and 1 challenge as it pertains to this topic. And number 1, in terms of going up, and we all know this, but number 1, we have to show up to go up. And practically speaking, okay, opportunities are obviously limitless in terms of, you know, how we can show up in our business. Obviously, trainings tonight, you know, there are a lot of people on here tonight, so kudos to you. Monthly strategy sessions with your coach. Your coach shouldn't be hunting you down to say, hey, you're going to set up strategy sessions with me. You need to show up. We need to be active on that. You know, showing up for your daily methods for success document, showing up for your events, whether or not you have guests. And, you know, I was thinking about it, and don't we know that there is a difference in just, you know, showing up versus like showing up? And I know for myself and my business, when I'm just kind of, you know, it's one thing to show up somewhere, but when you're like showing up and showing out and, you know, being all in, we have to show up for our goals. We have to be able, you know, to put a stake in the ground and say, you know what, this is it. And I even Googled put a stake in the ground and what that quote really means. And this is what Google says. Google says it's to take the first step to make a big move to get something started. And that's exactly what and where a lot of us are at in our business. We just need to put a stake in the flipping ground and say, this is where I'm at and I'm going. And, you know, whether that's giving your business top priority for the first time or getting serious about a very specific goal you have, showing up for that. And, you know, we show up for 10 people at an event, or we show up for one person at an event. And it should be all within the same energy. I know sometimes, you know, when we show up and there's just one person on, you know, we might be at a level 5, but when there's 10 people there, we're at a level 10. But we ought to show up for that one as if it was a full room. And I remember, and this is kind of, I was thinking about this, it's kind of crazy to think of, but I was thinking about when I very first started my business. And we started team trainings. Well, it wasn't very first when I started my business, but I was an area manager. It was a couple months after I started my business. And I was like, I'm going to start doing weekly team trainings. And and my team was very small at the time. And I told them, look, if there's just one of you on here, I'm going to show up. I'm going to be here. And thinking about my team right now, the only 2 people, this says a lot, the only 2 people who are still on my team from a year and a half ago that were on those trainings are Kaylin and Lucia. And both of them had left the business for a little while and came back in between that time. But we continue to show up for the one as if it were for the 10. And I think that that's so important to have that heart and that posture. And when we, you know, there's 3 different ways I want to kind of break down how we show up. Number 1, we have to, and I kind of just talked about it, but we have to show up all the way. And I was thinking about it with our little boys. I got this from some like parenting thing. It was some mom of boys thing. And it's teaching them this active obedience. And, you know, so I'll ask the boys, how do you listen? And they say right away, happy way, and all the way. So, you know how sometimes we do things kind of half-heartedly and all of that, but no, we need to show up all the way for our business, full out. The second way, and this is so important to me and something that I've learned and I think we're constantly growing in, but we have to show up as our authentic self. And obviously in the culture that we're in and in the social media world, it's so easy to feel like we need to show up as somebody else or, you know, gravitate towards thinking we need to be somebody else. But the greatest gift you can be to your business, I'm telling you, the greatest gift you can be to your business, for your business, is showing up as yourself. There is only one of you. There's nobody else in this world like you. And you have to bring that to the table because that's your edge. And then number 3, we have to show up over and over and over again. And I was thinking about it. Some people, I don't know if you guys have experienced this, but some people, like if you're doing an overview and they hear what's possible in our business to make income wise, you know, they're like, probably the first thing we thought as well, but like, okay, what's the catch? You know, and I was thinking about, and obviously we know there's no catch, but I was like, if there was a catch, it would be, we just have to keep showing up over and over and over and over again and work hard and, you know, not give up. And so those are the 3 ways, you know, we have to show up to go up. And then the second thing is we have to grow up to go up. We have to grow up to go up. And, you know, if you think about it, did you know that it is actually physically impossible for you, for me, for any single one of us to go up in our business from wherever we are without growth? It's absolutely impossible. There's no way you are going to get to where you need to go or want to go in your business without growing. Same goes for me. I am not going to get to my next goal without growth. And we're not going to hit our big goals in this business as the person that we are right now. And that means, yes, we have to get out of our comfort zone. Yes, we have to stretch ourselves to the limit at times. And yes, we have to listen to our coach when we think that we might know better. And yes, we need to be reading. We need to be listening to SoundClouds constantly. And, you know, people can think of this one way or the other, but at the end of the day, our business is where it's at because of where we're at. And our business is only going to grow based on the rate that we're growing. And for some people, that can be a little nerve-wracking. I know for me, that gives me assurance because that reminds me this is in my control. If I want my business to grow, there's only one person that's in control of my growth, and that's me. So, ask yourself, what am I doing to grow? And, 3 ways to grow up that I just want to hit on. Number one, truly, I added truly, and they're truly plug into the process. Because sometimes we can think, I'm plugging into the process, I'm doing the right things. But I'm telling you, if you need to relaunch, then relaunch. I've relaunched as an area manager. I've relaunched as a regional vice president, because there are just times where we need to remind ourselves there is a process to this. Your VP or your upline, they didn't get to where they are by accident. It wasn't just luck. It wasn't just, happenstance. And this doesn't mean that you don't bring your gifts to the table or your ideas. I know some people who are a little bit more like creative and carefree, which I would say that I'm more on that side, and I want to do all of the things. That doesn't mean that you don't get to bring those gifts to the table, but there is a framework and structure and a process to what we do. So truly plug into that process. If you need to reset tonight and say, okay, I need to look at what I've been doing, and maybe you're in a place where you're stuck, and trust me, I've been there. I'm in that place where I'm like, okay, I need to regroup. What do I need to do? I need to relaunch myself, just like I did at the beginning of this business, to get to where I want to go. The second thing, personal development. Okay. I know I already touched on this in the beginning, but personal development every single day, 20 minutes a day, read and or listen to a SoundCloud or a training. And if you say that you don't have 20 minutes a day to do that, this might sound really harsh, then you are not living. You don't have a life. And that sounds really rude or really mean, but all of us should be able to find 20 minutes in our day, no matter what. I don't care if it's broken up, 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there. Half of us at least spend 5 minutes in the bathroom, like on the toilet. Freaking, make the most of every time. When you're driving in your car, make the time, because when you want something bad enough, you make the time for it. Move your body. Personal development isn't just about our mind. It's mind, body, spirit. How are we growing ourselves? Transparently speaking, right now in this season, I've been really convicted, because one area, and it's really been kind of a joke in the past, but it's hitting me, and I'm like, you know what, Jill, you need to actually sleep, because that is an area in my life that I'm like, I need to grow in this. And I'm like, I can't be a hypocrite and talk to people about health and wellness when I'm not taking care of myself. And so, identifying those things, where do I need to grow? Is it in my mind? Is it in my physical health? Is it spiritually? Whatever that looks like for you. But all of them matter. And the third thing in terms of growing up to go up is get over ourselves. I didn't say get over yourself, get over ourselves, but you can write get over myself if you want in your notes. But, this one is big to me. And really, honestly, in my opinion, when I look at the mark of, a mature leader or a mature, respectable person, whether it's someone that I come in contact with and meet in life, or, someone who's successful in business, one thing that I take note of in the people that I see that way is, one trait is that they're humble. And, a humble person isn't someone who just allows people to walk all over themselves. And is one of my favorite quotes. Humility doesn't mean thinking less of yourself. It just means thinking of yourself less. And I love that quote, because that's our business. When we think and we serve other people, that's what we're about. We're about serving other people. And when we do that and we make it about other people, inevitably our business will grow, our business will lift up, and will go up as well. And everything shifts when we get the focus off of ourselves and onto other people. And I have to remind myself of that all the time, especially when we're going for a specific goal and we're digging in for ourselves. And we ought to, because our whys are worth it. But getting the focus, taking a step back and saying, okay, I'm here to serve other people. How can I serve other people? I promise you, try it. Just try it. And you will notice a difference in a shift in your business, because then it goes from feeling like you're trying to get people for you to, I'm trying to serve people with this gift that I have. And then the third thing, my third thought in going up. So number one, we have show up to go up. Number two, grow up to go up. And number three, doesn't rhyme as well, but we have to think up to go up. We have to think up to go up. And to be completely honest, this is one of the greatest gifts that the business has given to me, is it's allowed me to believe in myself in a way that I've never believed in myself before. And I'm someone who, I would say, I've come from a culture of belief and faith and all of that. But the reason why I've really learned through my business is because I've learned so much about our thoughts. And all of us know that this business is all about mindset. That's why we show up every Monday for Mindset Mondays. And our thoughts, this is a really powerful statement, our thoughts will always inform our actions. Our thoughts will always inform our actions. And this is not just a principle in our business, this is a principle in our life. Our thoughts will always inform our actions. You know, if I'm thinking thoughts of, you know, I'm not worthy of this, well, guess what? I'm not going to live a life. I'm not going to treat myself, nor am I going to allow others to treat me in a way where I think I'm worthy, because I'm telling myself I'm not. But when I believe I am worthy, then I'm going to live out of that. So our thoughts will always inform our actions. And 3 just practical ways that we can think up. Number 1 is, and I think this is the most important thing, is shift to abundant thinking. Shift to abundant thinking. And here's what abundant thinking says. And if you haven't read the book No Limits by John Maxwell, I really, really recommend it. I know Christina shared out of it last week, and I hopped on a tad late, so I hope I'm not repeating anything she said. But there is a chapter, it's chapter 12, and it's on abundance capacity, and it is seriously life-changing. And here's what abundant thinking says in a nutshell. Abundant thinking says there's more in me, there's more in me, there's more in others, there's more in today, and there's more in the future. Abundant thinking sees more. It doesn't, opposite of scarcity mindset. And I want to share a little excerpt from this book really quick. So it says, scarcity thinking causes you to make choices that will diminish your potential. Abundance calls out to you. There's more than enough. Scarcity cautions, quick, get what you can before it runs out. Abundance says, go and you will find the resources. Just go. Scarcity says, hold on to what you have because there are no more resources. Abundance says, your best days are before you. Scarcity says, this is as good as it gets. And I love that because, there is more. And it's so important to have that shift and that in the way that we think. It's so, so, so important. And then number 2, in a practical way to think up is obviously something we talk about all the time. Envision it. Envision it. Do you see it? Do you feel it? What is the extra income going to do for you? How is it going to impact the people around you? How are you constantly reminded of it? How are your goals in front of you? How are you seeing it? Who, apart from your coach, who completely outside of your business, not even in your business, not sideline, upline, anything, just someone completely outside of it. Do they know what your goals are that you're sharing with them and keeping you accountable just as a friend? This is one thing that I haven't done in a while, and I'm going to do. I'm going to completely write out in paragraph form my why, and specifically for this next goal, what exactly it's going to do, what exactly I'm going to do with the income from it. Sorry, my dog's right here. What exactly I'm going to do. One thing that I know I'm going to do for my family, because I'm such a bargain person. I'm always trying to find the best deal and all of that. But I'm going to take my family on a Disney cruise, and we're going to stay in a balcony suite on a Disney cruise. Normally I'm like, hey, what's up, Carnival? We can stay in the lower cabins, but that is one of my whys. Guess what I'm going to do tonight after this call? I'm going to go on Disney Cruise Line's website, and I'm going to figure out what the cost is going to be for our entire family to go on a Disney cruise. Because how am I going to know what I'm shooting for if I don't even know what that price is? And then guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to go to Mid-Florida because they have some little thing where you can set up a savings account for a special trip or savings for vacation. So again, our thoughts and our visions inform our actions. And those are practical steps So whatever that looks like for you, do those things, because they're going to constantly breathe in, and it's going to look different for everybody on here, but figuring out, what is that thing that, even that seemingly selfish, one of our awesome team members trained on that too. Sometimes we think we can't be selfish with, with what we do, but think about those things for you. And then the third thing, which kind of I just spoke about, but to think up, is map it out. Map it out. Truly, what is your plan for your business? Like, what's your plan? Are you just kind of like, I know what's possible with this business because there are other people around here, that are obviously successful, and I know I could be a regional vice president making $5,000 to $15,000 a month? That's not a plan. That's, that is that is something you're working towards, but that is not a plan. So what is your plan? And I was thinking about it, and again, all of this is firing me up, because as I'm training on it, I'm like, I need to do this. Jill, you need to do this too. And I was thinking about it, and I don't know the exact breakdown, but typically, for any business, if you're presenting like a business plan, they ask for a 3-year plan, 5-year plan, and I don't know, it's a 10-year plan or whatever. And I was thinking about that, and we know our business can be on like fast track comparable to any other business. So I was like, what if we came up with our 3-month plan? And better yet, because we only have 2 months till the end of 2019, and I'm going to talk about that in my challenge at the end. What if we just said, what is our 2-month plan, our 5-month plan, and our 10-month plan for our business? And truly writing that down and mapping it out. I'm going to do that for myself too. I haven't done that yet. I literally was, putting this together, and this is something I'm going to do for mine too. And so ask yourself, where do you want to be? How are you going to get there? Map it out. Let your coach know, what that is. So those are my 3 thoughts. So show up, grow up, and think up. And my 2 questions is, number 1, how are you showing up for your business? And this is just to get real. And, and it's okay if you're one on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being like, I'm showing up when it's convenient, kind of, filling in here and there. 10 being like, I am in for everything, and I am showing up with the whole heart. I'm showing up every day mentally for my business. So I want you to text these answers to your upline. And it's okay if you're at a 1. It's good. We have to reflect and be honest with ourselves on where we're at if we want to, number 2, grow up. So how are you showing up for your business on a scale of 1 to 10? And then this might be a little bit more lengthy, but the second question is, what's your 2, 5, and 10-month plan for your business? So maybe instead of your plan and actually breaking that down, what you can do is your goal. So where you want to be in your business. And send that to your upline. My 2-month goal, so by the end of 2019, is this. My 5-month goal, my 10-month goal. And then my 1 challenge for you guys, usually I like to make this a short-term kind of goal, but I just feel like it's in the air right now that I have to do something that is, working with the end of the year. And with our area manager boot camp training starting, I am so flippin' pumped for that. But my 1 challenge is to play full out for the rest of 2019. And I'm going to take a screenshot. This is going to take me a minute, but I'm going to take a screenshot of everybody that's on this call right now. And hear me when I say this. I really believe that there are certain mile marker moments in our business. And I'm telling you, just choose it now. Why not now? Why not today? Put a stake in the ground. And my challenge is, by the end of 2019, for every single person on this call, I'm not talking about the people who are going to be watching the recording later, you who showed up here tonight, I believe that there are certain things that are not just by accident. I believe that every person is on this call for a reason. Every person on this call by the end of 2019, if you are not an area manager, you will be an area manager, because it's possible. If you're an area manager, you will be at minimum in region qual. And for all of our regions, we will be a nation qual by the end of 2019 at minimum, because why not? And, I was thinking about it. We're not an average team, and Hef Nation we are already on fire. But we're going to be on fire. And I believe people are going to be looking at us being like, what is going on with Hef Nation? They're blowing up. and now is the time. And this group tonight, we're going to do it. So give me a second. I'm going to take a screenshot because at the end of this, I'm going to, at the end of 2019, I'm going to make an Excel spreadsheet of everybody that's on this call, and I want to see who is committing to this and who actually. Sorry guys, I'm taking my screenshots here. Okay, one sec. Give me a sec. One more. All right. So I'm going to stop the recording. We're right on time.